Chapter 23 of Short Stories for Short People. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Mark in Mountain View, California. Short Stories for Short People by Alicia, Stuart, Aspinwall. Chapter 23. The Bold, Bad Bicycle. There was once a bicycle who lived in a city, in a big shop with hundreds of other bicycles. He was a happy-hearted little fellow, although, if the truth must be told, somewhat vain of his fine appearance. He had gorgeous silver mountings, the best of rubber tires, and a sweet-toned bell to warn people that he was coming. He was just finished at the time I write, and had been sent to the shop from the manufactory only the night before. The workmen knew when they made him that he was a very fine machine, light, strong, and perfectly made in every respect, and as he stood there finished before them, bright and shining, they were proud of him. But just how bright he really was they never suspected, for he had not only a strong will of his own, but could also reason and think, all of which was quite unusual in a bicycle. When he arrived at the big shop, he was delighted, for the others seemed so glad to see him and welcomed him cordially. They told him about the different machines, and that in all probability he would soon be sold and taken by his master to see the big world. They gave him much good advice, telling him to always obey and try to be good, although they confessed that they, take them as a whole, were rather a fast lot. Well, that very morning our bicycle was taken out to be looked at by a gentleman who wanted to buy one for his son. The proprietor pointed out all his good points, till the little fellow was so delighted with himself that he could not stand alone, but leaned against the wall for support. The gentleman finally said, "I am much pleased with this bicycle. My son shall come next week and look at it, and if he likes it, I will buy it." Now all this day, and through the night, the bicycle was thinking, "I shall see the world, but oh, how can I wait till next week? That man said I was beautiful. Well, he is quite right. I am. I heard him say, too, that the lighter the machine, the greater the speed. Dear me, if that is so, how awfully fast I could go if I had no rider." Suddenly a magnificent thought came to him, a thought that made his nickel-plated heart, cold though it was, beat fast. He knew that at 5 o'clock every morning the janitor opened the big door while he swept out the place. Now, what do you suppose this audacious bicycle planned to do? Simply this. When the man went to the back part of the shop to get his broom, he would slip off quietly and see the world all alone. No one shall pull my ears and tell me to go this way and go that way. No, I shall go whichever way pleases me. You can imagine that once having made up his mind to do this thing, he slept but little. He heard the big clock at the corner strike 3, then 4, then 5. The hour had come, and soon footsteps were heard. The big door was unlocked and hooked back as usual, and the man went off for his broom. Now was the bicycle's chance, and silently, swiftly, he glided away. Out of the door, across the sidewalk, and with a big bump down into the street, for being a bright little fellow, he knew, although no one had told him, that the sidewalk was not the proper place for a bicycle. Oh, how happy he was, how free he felt. The street was quite deserted at this early hour, and so no one was astonished at seeing a bicycle whizzing along faster than any bicycle had ever been known to go before, turning to the right or left as the fancy struck him, and with no rider. Soon he met a dog, a large Saint Bernard, stout and dignified, who had lived a long life, and knew much more than he ever told. He glanced at the bicycle, and then His 2 eyes grew as big as saucers, and with one agonized howl of terror, he was off. The bicycle laughed and hurried on. His next encounter was with a sad-looking horse drawing a milk wagon, who gave one look at him, and then, like the dog, ran away, scattering the milk cans over the road as he went. His master, when he came out of the house, stared in astonishment to find him gone. "I really didn't know the fellow could run," he said, but then he hadn't seen the riderless bicycle. On and on sped the machine. He now kept meeting people, and they acted very much as the horse and dog had done, being greatly alarmed at the strange sight. The bicycle, finding that no one could possibly catch him, had a fine time. He would go up slowly till he was quite near somebody, and then, just as he put out his hand to catch him, whiz, he was a block away, leaving the man behind gasping with surprise. People shouted, horses shied, dogs barked, and the police were at their wits' end. Accidents were reported in all parts of the city from runaway horses who had caught sight of our friend. "Arrest that bicycle," demanded the people. "It is dangerous." "Willingly," said the police, "but how? No train, horse, nor bicycle can catch it." But fortunately for the city, the bicycle, after a few hours of sport, grew tired of the noise and confusion and went out into the country. As he went at the rate of 5 miles a minute, he found himself in about 5 minutes 25 miles away on a lovely wooded country road. There he stopped to rest, for he was tired. Rubber tires, you know. Oh, what a glorious morning he had spent. He had laughed so much to see everybody flying from him, and then, when they had tried to catch him, that surely was funnier than all. While he was laughing again at the remembrance, 2 boys came up to him. "I wonder who that stunning machine belongs to," said one. "To somebody who is very careless to leave it here," said the other. "Let's try it, just for a few feet," and the first speaker raised one leg to mount, and then whiz, all they saw of the bicycle was a small black speck on a hill about 2 miles off. The boys were badly frightened, I assure you. At last, the bicycle felt that it was time for him to go home. Every bicycle, like every dog, must have his day, and he felt that he had had his. But now he longed to tell them all at home about his travels. "I must wait till darkness comes," he said, "so that I may get into the shop without being seen." So when night came, back he crept, meeting scarcely anyone on the way. When he reached the shop, he found, alas, that it was closed for the night. This possibility he had quite forgotten. Creeping up in the doorway, he leaned sadly against the wall, when suddenly he caught sight of a notice nailed against the door, and looking at it more closely read, "Stolen from this shop," and then followed a description of him. He laughed so heartily at this that he almost fell down. Then he waited and waited till at last the big clock at the corner struck 5, when he crept silently round in the half-darkness and hid himself in the side doorway till he heard the man unlocking the door. Then, when he went for his broom, back crept the bicycle and took his old place among the others, who welcomed him with shouts of glee. He told them of his adventures, and oh, how they laughed. "The proprietor was very angry when he found that you were gone," they said. "He thought, of course, someone must have stolen you, and oh, how surprised he will be when he comes in this morning and finds you here." And indeed he was. He came in soon after with a friend, and the bicycles heard him say, "Yes, it was a very bold thing to do. The thief must have walked in through the door and taken the bicycle. There was where it stood, pointing, and what? Do my eyes deceive me? There is the bicycle now! Look, look!" he said, very much excited. "The thief has actually brought back the machine. It is covered with dust, and whoever stole it must have ridden a long distance." "Indeed he did," shouted all the bicycles, laughing heartily, but the proprietor did not notice them. I will find the thief who took that bicycle, said he, if it takes me years to do it. But although he made every effort, he never did find him, for, besides the bicycles, you and I are the only ones who know who the real thief was. And we will never tell, will we? End of chapter 23. The Bold Bad Bicycle.